Welcome to our weekly reflection of Advent in Plain Sight. For week 2, our object of focus is a tear, which may be surprising as we usually think of Advent and Christmas time as a joyful time. Yet for so many of us, this time of year can bring sorrow and grief as well. As in every season of life, despair doesn't disappear easily, and even in God's presence, our despair can linger. The symbol of a tear is a good reminder that this time of year, with its festive atmosphere, exacerbates many people's grief and depression. The characters in the Bible experience similar emotions, which is why so many psalms voice the laments and fears of those who mourn and struggle, even today. So I pray that this can be a reminder that tears are not antithetical to faith, but part of the human journey that we honor throughout Advent and year-round. While I hope that Advent can offer a hopeful word, we must be careful not to minimize painful feelings or too quickly make the move that Psalm 126 describes, turning tears to joy and weeping to shouting, but offer the assurance that God is faithful throughout our pain. Our comfort is that God sees our tears and mourns with us. Scripture offers us hope that while real and valid, our tears will not last forever, but be wiped away by the very hand of God when all is made well in God's ultimate and perfect kingdom. So, as you contemplate this idea of tears this week, I wonder how you're feeling this Advent. Are you full of the joy of Christmas, or are you feeling some despair from the loss of a loved one, from the continual repercussions of the pandemic, from the chaos that seems to be overwhelming our world? If so, could our lament also be life-giving as we rely on faith that God knows our despair? Could our despair, like Psalm 126 says, sow tears like seeds in order to reap shouts of joy? I encourage you to reflect on these questions this week. How can we accept the despair that we feel this Advent, not hiding it or brushing it aside, by embracing it and giving ourselves permission to feel what we feel? And how can we find hope, knowing that our despair will one day wane as God's perfect kingdom is made known to our hurting world? We hope that you will join us for the rest of this Advent study as we use ordinary objects to better see Advent in plain sight.